65-44 is what we are going to begin with here in the fourth quarter. Our first quarter ended 21-20 with UP ahead. And since then, this ball game has been spun on its head on a 180-degree turn. And then it's been all Ateneo. For UP, they have to win. Well, even if they win this quarter, that's not good. Might not be good enough. They have to win big in this quarter, Christian, for them to prevent the sweep and force us into a conventional Final Four.
Well, how about 45-23 for quarter number 2 and 3 combined, just allowing 23 points for this UP team, who is third best in the league in scoring as they start out the fourth quarter with the basket.
You saw 2 screens set and a dribble drive penetration by Juan Gomez de Leaño. The extra pass, 1 dribble, all caught on our McDonald's instant replay.
And that time was the crucial one there, which we have not seen in the first 3 quarters, is the quick decision to drive by Juan. Everything, has been on the move, 3 or 4 dribbles, trusting the dribble more than the pass. If he attacks more quickly, he can be more effective.
In the meantime, speaking of pass, a quick pass to Isaac Go, didn't even have to dribble. For that Jollibee 100% the amazing move of the quarter.
And that's gotta hurt, because after scoring a hard-earned basket on the other end to start the quarter, you allow an easy basket quickly on the other.
Tokab spins, splits the defense and gets it to crawl in. Under 8 minutes to play. Now, you're also getting a little bit of scoreboard pressure, so to speak. When you look at the scoreboard now, it's 73-49, and that time is dwindling, 77 minutes and 40 seconds. I have a couple of very, I would like to think, interesting questions for you, Christian Loanson. But we'll do that a little later on, as Juan Gomez de Leaño is trying to get UP back into this. For UP, only Akweti and Paras are in double figures. That's 11.
Another walk on 30.
Manzo has nothing to show for in all of the quarters so far. A guy is averaging 13 points in the second round. Here are the field goal situation.
Look at that stat.
60% almost.
60% in the first half. Didn't even blink. 58 and another turnover forced by Ateneo.
And again, it's the third person to follow Richie Rivero, who tried to go for the step back, was denied the step back, and then tried to make that casual pass again. And as we've been saying all game long, the extension of these arms and tips and the fingers of Ateneo defensively, it's present always, and they're breaking so many plays up with sometimes the simplest of things.
And also scouting the individual tendencies as well.
Sure.
Richie right-handed. At that time, you saw Matt Nieto having his hands up and taking that shot away, staying in the right shot pocket of Richie.
8-1 in terms of blocks. The aforementioned Manzo, who has been spectacular for UP, not just in this 3-game winning streak, in the last 4 games, even in the loss, but just in the second round in general. Not today so far, as Daves comes in for Troy Malilin.
Had 11 points and 8 assists in the last game on that, clincher of a game to secure the second seed. Had those 2 big plays against Adamson a week ago in the dying minutes, the last 5 minutes, that pretty much sealed the deal for them, but has been non-existent so far in this ball game. Talking about Manzo, one of the few unforced turnovers you'll see by Ateneo in this ball game. They have 16 turnovers, but it doesn't just feel the same way as UP has given the ball away.
Now again, UP is already number 2 in the league. They have the twice to beat advantage, regardless of if it's Final Four or step ladder. That is already settled for them, as Tungkap goes back for the tougher shot, and 30 is all over that with a contest. Now, UP has made it to the Final Four in 4 times, both back-to-back situations, 1996 and 1997, 2018 and 2019, but first time with Final Four. 73-51 is our score, 6:26. Here's my first question to you, Christian, as we're down the last 6 minutes of this game. Is there a team who actually prefers a step-ladder format?
I think FEU and UST prefers that.
They do.
I believe so. Now,
I don't say that in general. I mean, in this context this year, as nagkakatapikan tayo ng bola dito, and the ball will remain to the UP side of things at the 6-minute mark. We're talking about the context of our competition.
Now, if you ask them personally, I don't think they're going to admit to it, right? I don't think they're going to admit to it, but from a matchup standpoint, they matched out actually pretty well against Ateneo.
You're talking about
UST. Let's start with UST. For UST, with that first round, that 1-point escape by Ateneo, the only 1-point win by Ateneo for this season so far, as Javi takes a 3. But it was a blowout in the second round. You saw the adjustments by Coach Tab in that game. After allowing UST to score 70 points and then not allowing them to score over 70 points is actually a shade under, which is 69, but they scored 85. And for FEU, which they almost lost, who could forget? FEU was in control for 2 quarters as Noah Webb finishes inside. And then suddenly just allowing 15 points all in all in the second half for FEU. The score in halftime in that game was FEU was actually up in that game.
Okay, so to answer the original question, Christian, yes.
And then you go back to the step ladder.
Okay.
Instead of facing Ateneo right away as the number 1 seed, if they lost this one, now they're obviously a bye to the finals. UP is waiting. I would rather face a team like FEU or UST or UP rather than face Ateneo right away.
And that's why I asked you that question. I mean, in the context of this competition right now, as Manso is just having a miserable day, could not even make a free throw here, as this lead is at 73-53. I have another question for you, but I'll wait a little longer. We'll let that stew muna. But it's a great point. If you're number 14, Ateneo is not lost in 13 games. You'd rather face the teams that you have more chances to beat as you look at the competition this year.
Right.
That's what you're saying, yes. As Juan goes up, the tip, third opportunity for UP. Webb on the 4th, dives for it. 13 on the 24 of UP. Now the biggest lead is at 24. Webb will shoot a 3. No. Daves comes away with it. Yes, coach. Ateneo, go. Left hand, finish. Gatorade loaded. Their average winning margin that year was almost 15. This Ateneo team,
similar 17.
That's the only team that has been able to sweep in the last 25 years, the Final Four era. They had a 21-day rest though, after they swept. And the step ladder went, with LaSalle coming out of the step ladder and then eventually sweeping them, as we look at the AXA No You Can player of the game. This Ateneo team will have a 17-day rest because the finals is November 16. If this goes on in the last minute and 38, they automatically go into the finals. They will not play basketball for the next 17 days, if I'm not mistaken. Very similar. Different teams, of course, different coaches, different personalities, different era. Well, what do you think, though? Your personal opinion on this whole rest for 17 days, especially because this year has been very fast because of our compressed schedule, Christian, and that might make a difference because you're playing games every now and then.
Well, first, it remains yet to be seen.
Of course.
Obviously, but I've always thought of rest, especially if it's time for you to prepare especially in the final stage, is always a good thing. Now, obviously, the history does not favor that. Historical performance with what you just mentioned does not favor that. But you talk about recuperating. I'm sure marami bang hindi nare-report dyan.
Ay, sigurado.
In terms of injuries.
Dings and nicks.
Right.
And,
The ticky-tack, the small injuries, a
right.
thumb, or maybe a sore knee or a shoulder. That would come into play with that, big gap that you just mentioned. And to me, that's a good thing.
All right.
Now, Coach Tab is an experienced coach, not only locally, but also outside of Philippine soil. I don't think we have to, enumerate each and every one of them. He knows what to do. He has that experience during his rookie season of, bowing down to that Ben Mbala team 3 years ago. But after that, it's been nothing short but spectacular, really, especially on the defensive end.
Right. Okay, having said all of that,
number 19,
if you're an Ateneo fan, you shouldn't be worried about the 17-day rest. There's rest of 1 week, which is already by UAAP standards, mahaba na yung mga 1 week.
Right.
17 days.
Right.
You're not concerned. If you're an Ateneo fan, if you put yourself, Christian, into the Ateneo mindset here as 30 and Ange will now go to the bench, you shouldn't be worried. Are you saying?
For the 17 days, I wouldn't be worried.
Right.
I would for the first 5 to 8 minutes
of the
first game in the finals.
Game 1. Okay. All right.
You can expect maybe a little bit of rust right there, but overall and moving forward, this team has proven, in 14 games basically, including this one, that it doesn't, take the spectacular or home run plays for them to win a basketball game. It takes habits, it takes culture, it takes teamwork and all the good things, which I'm sure they will show once again once the stage is set the next 2 weeks.
They've had a 5-peat, and I told you they finished 13-1 thrice in that 5-peat, talking about Ateneo, but they've never swept. So Coach Tab is on the precipice of history for the school here, as they are 50 seconds away from only the second sweep of a team, of a school, in the last 25 years in the UAAP. All right. They will go to the finals. Let's talk about UP. They will wait at number 2.
Right.
They're going to watch FEU and UST duke it out and then wait for that. What is your mindset? You have to wash the bitterness of this loss, but you're still number 2 and you have twice to beat, and that's already secured. What are you concerned about? What are you happy about, Christian Luanson?
Short-term memory, obviously. After this game, you just got to flush this game, into the toilet, so to speak. And then obviously, you look back to the tape and you look for things to clean up. Now, what are those things? Number 1 to me is defensive rebounding. I've been saying this all season long. With the kind of athletes that they have that could run up and down the floor, and their improvement of shooting in the last 4 to 5 games in the second round, if they control the defensive rebound coming into this ball game, boom, they are 6th.
Wait. Oh, sorry. Mandilla and Chu were getting at it here earlier, saying, yes, coming into this ball game, they are
6th in the league in terms of defensive rebounding.
And you think that that's not good enough for them?
That's not good enough. If you want to maximize the talent on your team, they finished the league number 1 in fast breaks. Okay, in the first and the second round of about 11 to 12 points. I think they could potentially finish per game in the Final Four and even in the finals of 17 fast break points. And for that to happen, you got to improve on the defensive rebounding.
A subdued celebration by the Ateneo Blue Eagles. 14-0, historical season so far. And what they want, of course, is to cap off this unblemished season with a championship. We're not yet there, but they're now at 14-0 and a tempered celebration, and that is very understandable because that is the personality of the coach. Coach Tab Baldwin did not want to put emphasis on the word sweep. He wanted to put emphasis on how they were going to stop UP, how they were going to counter and take away UP's strengths, and they did that, and they did it earlier than they did it in the first round. The Stab and Kobe are having a great moment right there, caught on cam.
Force Kobe, 5 for 15, 33%. Bright Aqueti, the MVP of the league, 4 for 14, under 30%. Jun Manzo, who has been playing out of his mind in the second round.
Correct.
1 of 5 for only 2 points. Has 5 assists, but forced also a couple of turnovers. Just completely took the top point guard of the Maroons out of this game.
And the crowd of UP just...